Okay, so I've just moved him up there. So looking at this area then, we've got some warm greys and cold greys, I would say. So like down here we've got some cold greys coming down to about here, and then we've got the warmer ones coming this side and under, and then of course we've got the brown ones overlapping here. So I think what we're going to do first then, I'm going to block the colours in like we do. We've got the cold greys this side, and then we'll do the warm this side. So on here I'm going to go with the cold grey 2, so this is just going to be my base layer. Keeping an eye on the direction of the feathers as we always do. I'm just going to go back and forth to get this colour in, and then we can worry about those feathers on the top once we've got the colours in. Okay, so I'm just looking at where, because we've got like this little skirt under here where it's quite a warmy colour, so we just sort of go up to here. So we've got quite a dark grey under here, so I'm just going to map that out. It's like a triangle we've got here, so I'm just going to put that in so we don't lose it. I'm not going to go up to his wing there because that's a lot darker. I'll just put a bit more there on his chest. Okay, so we've got a nice even cover there. I might put I think what I'll do is put a little bit down this side as well where he's in the shade. I'll put a bit of the cold grey 2 there. Looking at this, we do need to darken this up as well in a bit, and then we've got some darker areas here. Oh, I see, that's his bottom part of his other wing there. I'll just put a bit of the cold grey 2 in there too. Okay, so that's the cold grey 2. Let's go over to the warm grey 1. Okay, and then what I was going to do down the bottom bit here, I'm not sure if warm grey 2 is enough, if not the 3. So I've got the warm grey 2 here. Okay, I think that's got quite a nice cover. Our base layers there. Okay, so I've now got the cold grey 4. I'm going to start darkening up these darker areas. Right, so we've got his little foot here as well. Right, so this is the back part of his other wing. Okay, do a few little darker bits of the feathers down the front here. So we're just sort of doing the foundation parts of the feathers. So we got, let's come along here. Let's get this dark bit in. It needs to be a lot darker, but let's just map it out. So I'm just doing sort of like strokes with the pencil just to do these like little lines. You can't really see them at the moment, but rather than just blocking it all in one direction. Okay, then when we get to about here, we've got some browner feathers coming in, so we'll get them in. I'm going to move over to the nougat now. I think very good. Okay, so we've got this dark bit here. Let's just widen that a little bit more. And we've got the back of his tail there. So I'm just literally mapping things out again. As I say, we've got the pencil line there, but we just sort of draw it back in. I'm trying not to go off the screen there. I think we get the cotton bud out and just sort of blend it a little bit more. I think I'm just going to fill this bit in with the nougat actually for now. I'm just going to run a bit of the nougat down the bottom here as well. Right, let's get a cotton bud now. Okay, so I've got a cotton bud. It's reasonably clean, it'll be fine. Let's just sort of blend that together. So you can even use a pencil stub. I think I've got one over here. Some people do prefer to use these as well. They're just as good, to be fair, but I just tend to use a cotton bud. But as I've mentioned before, I don't tend to use solvents or blender pencils anymore. It's just not for me. I'd rather just stick with the colour pencils. Seems to work just as well. Okay, now we have obviously lost a bit of colour there, but that's not a problem. So we've softened that up a little bit. So I'm going to use another grey now. I'm going to go in with the warm grey 6 now. I might even use that to darken down the side here. So we're using lots of different greys. So yeah, that's working quite nicely. Going back and forth to get that colour in. I'm not using a lot of pressure. just going to gently run that all the way down. Okay, and then this bit behind his leg. Just moving my focus point there. I'm going to run that along the bottom. Okay, that's good. I think I'll probably use a bit of a sepia 10 as well. So that's always a nice colour for shading. Put a bit of that up here. Okay, and then we've got this triangle, as I called it. We'll fill that in. So we're doing this sort of work underneath the top feathers. So it looks a bit funny at the moment, but it should all come together. But we need to do the under part of his feathers before we can do the top bit. So where it's darker, I'm just putting a bit more pressure on. And then I'm going to put a bit up the top here. And I'm just taking that over the orange because I'm putting this under the orange feathers there. So I'm sort of going up and under. Just so we haven't got a funny little frill here, we're going up and under the layer. It just looks a bit more realistic there. So I've now got the sepia 10, the Luminance, and I'm just going to do a bit of blending, a bit more shading as well. So this is a good colour for doing that. Take this up the side a bit as well. So we've got quite a white area here, you can see, but we'll put that in a bit later. I'll put a bit up here as well. It just helps to fill the tooth as well, and the luminants are just good for blending. Okay, so let's come over this side now. I think I'm going to go back in with the nougat, put a bit more of that in. So we've got them, looking at the reference photo, we've got like feathers sweeping across here, and quite long as well, so I'm going to put them in. I'm just basically flicking my pencil. So you just basically draw what you see. We're just making sort of shapes really. As we come further down, it gets quite a bit darker. I just moved my little robin up again. I've still got the nougat. I just want to come a bit further up here with the brown. Just go on the bottom bit here too. Another good thing with the Polychromes here is you can, if you're using light pressure like what we're doing, you can see all the other colours come through. So yeah, they're a good pencil for that. You're sort of building up the layers, but you can still see all of them. I think I'm going to add a bit of burnt sienna over what we've just done as well, just to give it like an orangey brown colour. I think he's got the sun on him, so he's got a lot of light coming through. Need to darken it down the side here actually as well. Do that in a minute. might revisit this area once we've got his tail end in a bit later. We need to get that bit in first. I think that's it for that. I might come in with a darker brown as well. Let's try the walnut brown. Move my picture down. So putting all these different browns and greys in, we're just adding more and more layers basically, and it just makes it look more realistic rather than just being a flat colour. So I've still got the walnut brown. I'm just adding a few more feather lines. Okay, I'm just going to darken that a bit further. I will go to the dark sepia just to add a bit more dark. Let's do a bit more work up here now. I've got the cold grey 5. I'll put a bit more detail in. I'll put a bit more pressure on. Okay, I think that's working quite well. Let's just come over this side and darken it a bit more. I might actually go to the 6. Not quite dark enough there. We can still use this colour while we've got it, and then well, I think the 6 might be a good idea. Let's have a look. Even the warm grey 6. Let's go with the warm grey 6 because I've got that out, and I think that'll be, yeah, that'll be good. think that's what we used up here. I'm just going to put this in places just to darken a few bits up. And let's just put a bit of that down the bottom here as well. I've got the back of his leg there, I don't want to lose that. So I now got my sepia 10% and I'm just going to gently do a bit more blending. I don't want to lose my details obviously, but I just want to fill that paper up a bit more. And then I think we'll get the white Pablo nice and sharp and then do some detail on the top. I've got my white Pablo, I've just sharpened it up. Sharpen it again. You can get that detail in over the top. I'm just using my little board here just to sharpen it up further in between strokes, rather than keep sharpening it. this lighter area here, so we'll fill that in a bit more. I'm going to sharpen that again. Okay, I don't want to put too much white in. I might get my burnt sienna. Let's get my burnt sienna back, and I just want to come in between some of those light area, the white bits I've just put in, just to bring them forward a bit more. Going to get my warm grey 6. Don't remember where I put that now. Did have it. I got it. Just need to sharpen that up. So I've just got the light cadmium red. I just want to touch up these feathers that are overlapping. So I'm just going to put a few of those coming over what we've just done. And I think that's pretty much for his chest area. I think that's looking good. Put a couple in there. Yeah, I think we're pretty much there. We can always revisit at the end if we need to, but I think what would be good now is to get his tail end in, and yeah, well, I think we'll do that bit next. Okay, so I just moved him up again. So I'm going to start with the nougat, and we're just going to map out everything. So we've got this dark bit here coming behind his leg, and then we've got this bit, and then got the lighter bit of fluffiness here. I'm just going to give that a bit of a soft edge, and then okay. So yeah, I think that's about right. So let's get this lighter bit in. I'm going to go with the warm grey too. Move my paper across. Let's just fill this in. Okay, and I'm going to put this bit in as well down here where the sun is reaching. Okay, I think I'll do this bit next. I think I might as well just go straight with the dark sepia. Yeah, let's go with the dark sepia, and I'm just going to fill this in. Obviously just got to watch his leg there. He's got one of those silver little clips on his leg, which I'm just going to ignore. Just go back and forth, get that colour in. I might even put black in over the top. Okay, I'm just going to use that coming down here. And we've got some lines to put in. Okay, let's go back to the nougat for now. I'm just going to fill this all in lightly. And this bit as well. I've got quite a harsh line coming across here, so this shadow, so I'm going to put that in. And we have got a stripe here as well, which I'm going to add. I'm going to get the, let's try the van-dyke-brown. Let's put some of these stripes in down here. Okay, let's go with the sepia 10. So pretty much using the same colours as we were at the top. It's the same sort of colour scheme. Okay, and I'm going to go with, let's put a bit of burnt sienna in. Okay, and then let's try the walnut brown. And then I'm going to go to the warm grey too, just to help blend that. It's a bit too small an area to use the cotton bud, I think. I'm just going to use the warm grey too. I'll just push the pencil into the paper there. And we can go back in with the dark. So let's go back to the walnut brown. It's quite dark up here. I'm going to get my nougat. I just want to go over this lighter bit here. Okay, and let's go back to the dark sepia. And then we can bring those top feathers sort of over. So put this behind again. I'm going to go back to the van-dyke-brown, I think. Then we can just bring some feathers that are coming over. Good. Let's get the black. I'm just going to darken and sharpen this bit. This is his other wing behind. Just darken that up there. Okay, great. So I've just put him back in the frame there. I think we'll leave the video there, and yeah, I think in the next video we should probably get his little branch and his feet in. But yeah, I think that's looking okay. Been quite fun so far. So yeah, hopefully you're up to the same level as I am, and if you've got any questions, you know, obviously do ask me. I'm always happy to help. And yeah, as I say, I think we'll leave the video there, and I hope to see you on the next one.